don't know, it's been so long since we've done a video.
Hello everybody. Sorry that it took us 7 months to get another video up. We've been a little bit busy, but you'll notice that we're in different chairs, which you're gonna have to stop rocking. That's really freaking squeaky. We need to get some WD-40 on those. Anyways, you notice we're in different chairs. We are in the same building, believe it or not. Like, hard to believe that this is the same building that we started with, because it is. Transformation has been insane. A lot of freaking work. But I don't know, I'm pretty proud of it. Are you?
Yeah, it's alright. It's pretty nice. Everything in this building is brand new.
Except for
The brick, floor joists, roof trusses.
I mean, relatively speaking, brand new. Like, the barnwood beams are probably 100 years old. I mean, they've been sitting in a shed for 30, and before that they were on a barn that was functioning. But essentially, even the reclaimed stuff has all been recrafted new in here, which is pretty insane. We did end up significantly over budget. But even as we were going through all of that stuff, like what would we or could we have cut out?
Nothing besides, I mean, the only thing that was a little extravagant was the tile shower, but that's negligible in terms of
That wasn't
how
even.
much.
That was like $2,000.
I know, but that was the only thing that was like more expensive option
Yeah.
than what we could have done. So it doesn't matter. I mean, it's what? How much we were?
$50,000 over budget. That's what I'm saying. $2,000 for a tile shower, like, is not even.
I know. But you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying. But I'm saying, like, it's just, it ended up being what it was, just with what we had to work with. The building was in such disrepair that in order to make it safe and make it usable and make it all the things, like,
It had to be new. Everything
had to be new. It's fine. I mean, the work is custom and quality, and hopefully it should last for another 100 years. We'll take a lot better.
better last.
It better last, is right. Majority of it just seemed like, honestly, when I filmed that May video, I was like, oh, we're maybe
Almost done.
Yeah, it's like, we're almost done. I just painted. We're almost done. It'll be like 6 weeks and we're done. So that would have put us in end of June, like early July. I was like, for sure we'll be done by then. We were not done. And then I thought, you know, hopefully we're in before the state fair, which is like second week of August. And we were not. I was like, well, for sure, like after the state fair, they'll be just about there. Nope. And then I thought, you know, September 15th. And I just at that point stopped setting deadlines. I ended up, I think, was it October or late September, where I decided we're having the open house on this day. Come hell or high water, we're having this open house. Thinking for sure, even some of the finishing touches and all of the other things would be done by the end of November.
Were they?
No, that's still a temporary bar top that we have. Backsplash isn't done, so the electric still isn't done. Like, I mean, it is a functional space. We're able to live upstairs. Like, we're able to use this as an office space, but like, no, it's still not done. But done, but not. I think that's just gonna end up being what this place is, which I feel like everybody is that way. There's always gonna be projects that we're working on.
There's odds and ends
that will just,
needs. I mean, there's some drywall boogers that need fixed, and
more as we live in it and we figure out the kind of thing. I want shelves underneath the big TV so that we have places to keep stuff, coffee mugs and things like that, and the actual coffee and that kind of stuff. So I think as we go, and also this bathroom down here, I gotta fix the ceiling.
yeah,
It's just not right. So I think, like I said, functionally for the whole project, like it is done, but I don't think it's ever gonna be done.
It ain't gonna fall over though.
It is not gonna fall over.
I don't think.
Yeah. Knock on wood on that one, it's not gonna fall over. I think for me, it's really cool to see what I had in my mind the whole time and was trying to communicate to everybody from like a design and finish standpoint of like, I want this, and I know this sounds crazy, but I want this. And just to kind of see it come to fruition and be what I wanted. It's very satisfying for me. I know you didn't really care, which is good, it's great. Did you care?
No.
Okay.
Turned out alright.
He didn't think that it was that nice or that cool until we had the open houses and everybody was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So I don't think he had a full appreciation of what we had pulled off until we got external feedback.
Well, in my defense, it was just such a daunting, stressful, expensive situation.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and like you said, you know, we saw it every day.
Yeah.
We saw it every day, and like, especially I would say the last, I don't know if it was the same for you, but I would say from like August until middle October, November, beginning of November, like it felt like progress was crawling. Like it felt like we had gotten to the point where it was just so close to finished.
Yeah.
That like it was painful. It was like frustrating, painful. And so whether it actually did slow or not, like I don't necessarily know. I don't think that it did.
I think it was to the point where everything was so spread out. Because that's like when all the finished trim and everything.
Yeah, well, and the other
very
thing,
delicate,
yes,
intricate. You're not just slamming up 2x4s and drywall
and the other thing that didn't help is literally nothing is level and nothing is square. So like a piece of trim is not a piece of trim in here. Like it is coped in multiple spots to multiple elevations to fit it perfectly, and like there's just no fast way to do that. I mean, it looks absolutely stunning. It looks gorgeous, but it took forever, which was there's nothing you can do about it. It's just like said, nature of a 140-year-old building where nothing is level, nothing is square. It made the last 4 months really crawl. I'm excited, especially in particular for this space down here, you know, to have a functioning office space, to have a hangout space for employees, to have a place that we can freaking have like an actual business meeting, you know, if we need to, like a business meeting, or, you know, we can have different events, like different community events, like, I don't know, community coffees or something. Like it gives us a space to work with.
To give back.
Yeah, I mean, there's an element to that for sure. And like, to just, we're not gonna say that Main Street in Collins is the world's most hoppin' place. I will say like it's definitely picked up in terms of life with, you know, new businesses and.
Well, I think there's other people exploring the option of utilizing grants like this for their buildings too.
Yeah, which I think is the goal. I think that's Iowa Economic Development's goal in giving somebody like us a grant is, I mean, it's supposed to be a catalyst for the community. It's in the name, right? So it's supposed to, you know, get other things picked up. And I feel like in the 18 months that we've had this and been working on it, like it has. You think about the buildings that have changed hands or are now occupied and actually, you know, being used for things other than store. Like it's just.
Yeah, I think it just kind of proved that these buildings on Main Street are more valuable than storage or just letting them get to the point where they just need to be torn down.
I don't know that we want another one.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe if financially I was better off prior to starting,
yeah,
I'd be more willing to.
Yeah. Well,
because if this, see how I can word this correctly. I mean, this isn't really necessarily an investment property because we're living here and we are using it
For business.
to expand our businesses. If you thought you're gonna go into this building, oh yeah, I'm getting $110,000 in grants, I'm gonna fix it up and sell it. You're not gonna come out ahead.
No. Yeah, there's no way.
So,
Yeah.
which that wasn't our goal to begin with.
No, we were not. There was no. We weren't flipping this one. Let's put it that way. It was not like a quick flip sort of situation. We had planned for it, and I'm glad it turned out the way that it did. Painful that it's as over budget as it was, but again, I think that's one of those things, you know, when we write out a budget for something, write out a plan for something that's 140 years old and we really haven't like dug into it yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you know what you're gonna face? You have no idea. Like, there's so many things that can possibly happen. So
yeah, I think we did all right with. I mean, when we wrote the budget for the grant, we had a landscaper doing the budget.
yeah.
So I don't think that was helpful.
Well, I mean, we had the quotes from people. You know, we brought in the Renovation. We brought in.
Yeah.
You know, we brought in people
Mm-hmm.
that would kind of know what they were looking at. But even so, like, you can't know.
No.
You know, there's a lot of that stuff. Like I said, we got even the added expense of the freaking floor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were
probably an
planning
extra 15.
That was probably an extra 15. Yeah. But
with the subfloor and everything.
But unavoidable. Like, there was nothing we could do about that. Like, the floor was just in such rough shape that there was zero that we could do. So it was just things like that, which, I mean, I had a contingency section in our budget, but it just was not large enough. So it is what it is. I don't know. I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah, maybe the reason wasn't like jumping for joy when it was done is because I wasn't surprised that it turned out the way it did.
Why?
Because my faith in our contractors and you delivering the vision that you wanted, I'm just not surprised that it looks like this.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I suppose.
You probably don't believe me, but that's...
I believe it.
Because, like I had said a million times, I had done lots of work with Greg and Russ prior to this expedition, and I've seen what they're capable of, and I'm just not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm not impressed, I'm just not surprised.
He's very difficult to impress these days. He doesn't get too excited about much, which is fine. Pretty even keeled. I think it's cool to have a home base like this for both of our businesses, for sure. Just figuring out what is the best way for us to utilize this space and maximize this space. Like I said, for like customer appreciation days, like community events, like.
Well, we're definitely maximizing upstairs currently, but not so much down here.
Yeah.
Mainly because I just like laying on the couch upstairs because it's off season.
Yeah. Well, I think part of it too, for me anyways, part of it is not having the actual bar top on yet and the backsplash, and so that electric we leave off. Like, having this whole thing down here functional and like putting our coffee maker and stuff down here will force us into using it more, which is fine, which is good, because I don't want my coffee upstairs. I want it all down here. This is meant to be a coffee bar. I just want it down here.
So I'll probably make coffee and then go upstairs.
That's fine. And I'll make my coffee and stay downstairs. And you can have the lights on as dim as you want, and I will turn the bright lights on so I can actually see to read. That's one thing, like, we upstairs in our living room, we have like dimmable lights. He's a freaking vampire and like sits in the dark in the morning. Like, it'll be 5 in the morning, he's just gotten up, he'll be drinking his coffee, and like, he's a vampire. I don't understand.
I work outside in the light, so
you like it dark? You
yes.
like a cave? It's weird. Anyways, so yeah, so down here I'm just, it doesn't feel finished from a design standpoint for me yet down here, which is perhaps why I've also been freaking really busy. So like, I haven't been here a lot. I've been in my building or at the Cricket Barn or, you know, it's just, I've had a lot happen this last month, so I just don't feel like we've taken advantage of this quite yet. I think it does, like I said, give us a lot of options of things we can do down here. We did have a couple people mention that like we could rent this space out because it's a beautiful space, like rent it out for baby showers or things like that, but I think, I don't think we'll probably do that for a while.
There's no price that they could pay
Well,
that
there
would make it
is.
worth it to me.
I mean, there is, but it's just like I think about all the stuff that would need to be put away. Like we wouldn't want office stuff,
No.
you know, in there for people. I mean, there's ways to put it away, like lock and key. But I don't know. We'd really have to sit down and think through that in order for that to make sense. Maybe at some point, and we'd have to be picky on the different kinds of events that could be hosted here. Like nobody's coming to host Rage or 214 Main Street, unless it's us, but it wouldn't be us, because we're not very ragey anymore.
Would you like to reflect on what our roles were during the process on top of what we paid to have done?
Oh, yeah, like all of the in-kind stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I should mention, we were $50,000 over budget, and that was like not including a lot.
That's what we wrote in checks.
Yeah, that is what, that's money's out the door. Maybe with the exception of, I think I might have factored in like 10 grand worth of your in-kind stuff. There was a significant amount more that I put down for in-kind in the first round versus the second round, because it got so to the point where we just didn't even need to factor it in. Yeah, so for you,
well, it's been so long since I was like really hands-on.
yeah,
It's hard to like remember like how much I actually did.
yeah, because during landscaping season, he was landscaping.
I was busy from 6 a.m. till dark.
Yeah.
But reflecting back on it, so I cleaned out the whole basement, used my machinery for a whole bunch of different stuff. Any demolition was basically me, and it was a lot of demolition. I helped the whole way along on the roof, relaying the firewall on the roof, tearing up everything, framing everything, plumbing. I helped the HVAC guys. Every 2x4 and sheet of drywall, I picked up the majority of it. We had one load delivered from Menards, and then I went and got the rest. And we're talking hand picking through hundreds of 2x4s to make sure I found straight ones, and grabbing lots of sheets of drywall.
And subfloor.
Yeah, I mean, I was involved in framing this whole thing, all the bracing. So how many hours? I mean, a lot of hours, like 200 maybe.
Yeah, probably at least.
I mean, I spent all winter on this. Mm-hmm. And granted, they only came 3 days a week and less during like the holiday season, but like, and also like fall time not this past fall, the fall before, a lot. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
But like I said, it was like a year ago.
I know.
It was literally a year ago. So maybe that's why I've kind of been not so excited, because I haven't really done anything.
Yeah. Well, you went
recently.
You went until it was landscaping season, and you guys started middle of March this year, which was like 6 weeks earlier than you did the previous year. And so you were freaking pedal to the metal from the middle of March until basically like
2 weeks ago.
So I can understand. But then, so for me, I like didn't do any of that stuff. I didn't do any of the demo, none of the hard work, shall we say. I didn't do any of that, and I had said that I wasn't going to do any of that, but when it came to finishing stuff, like that was going to be me. So paint, stain, varnish, all of that was on me essentially, which was fine. Like I like doing that. So that I started that in, I would say May, middle of May is when I started to get really involved. And then I was basically here like every day from the middle of May until state fair, and then I was gone for 11 days. And then basically from after the state fair, so the end of August until when we finally moved in October, I was here doing something every day, finishing something, staining trim, varnishing trim, painting, touching up paint, making decisions on like design decisions of like what was going to get trimmed with what, figuring out finding furniture on Facebook Marketplace and refinishing like furniture that we had gotten for free or really cheap, figuring out appliances, you know, countertops, like all that stuff had to be measured and ordered and approved, and so that was me. And
So
then
probably an additional $50,000, $60,000
dollars worth
of in kind.
oh, easily, putting us well over $100,000 over budget. Because I think our initial budget included in-kind projections as well. So yeah, it's been a lot. We have a lot of money in this, and then we also have a lot of sweat equity in this. So that's where, yeah, it has been a labor of love, shall we say. Which, speaking of, we got married last week too. Everybody thought we were already married, but we were not.
Not wearing my ring.
Shocker.
Left it in the shower, I think.
He's been bad at wearing his ring lately. It's just a silicone. I got him a 4-pack of silicone ones off Amazon for $20 because I don't want him to cut his finger off doing whatever he's doing. And I told him I would get him a nicer one, and he said just wait. But we got engaged in July and obviously haven't done a video since then. Really didn't make a big thing of it. And then we got married last week on the shortest day of the year, because we needed to do it before year end, because married filing jointly. Tax.
Probably due to this.
Yeah, honestly, due to this building, we needed to do that. It just made things easier on our accountant, which is what we were interested in doing anyways. And we were gonna do it, so might as well do it in December at the courthouse in Christmas sweaters. It was great. We were home by 3 o'clock, just hanging out,
Yep.
relaxing. What do you want to do next?
What do you mean?
What do you want our next project to be?
I'd be fine with doing another building, but not one that is in the shape of this one.
You guys all heard that. So how much better does it have to be? How much better shape? Give me a percentage.
70.
Oh geez, okay. 70% improvement. If anybody knows any of them around here, let me know. It could be done. We'll just have to figure it out and think about it. I think I should probably, anything else you want to say?
Maybe write in the comments if you thought we were actually going to pull it off or not.
Yeah, that is a comment or a statement we've gotten from quite a few people around town that, you know, came to the open house or we've talked to since we finished it, and they all basically said that they thought we were crazy and that we were crazy. And I think that the going thought was that we wouldn't be able to do it. And I think at some points we probably didn't think we'd be able to do it, but here we are.
No, I thought. Are you talking about like skills or financial?
Both. All the
Financially, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But like I've said multiple times along the videos, I have undying confidence in the contractors that were involved,
Yeah.
and ourselves
Mm-hmm.
to a point.
I think it's probably time for me to give you the final tour of this place so you can see, with the exception of the bar area. That one's temporary, just keep that in mind. But there's a few other things that will be added here and there, but
There's just literally like 2 spots that need trimmed out.
yeah, but
That scuttle hole,
Yeah.
and the beam in the mudroom.
you mean it needs to be trimmed down on the top?
Mm-hmm.
other than that, it's great. So yeah, let's show you the after.
I totally forgot, you guys haven't even seen the outside yet. We replaced the windows with custom Pella windows that are awesome, and then, redid the front. We put new cedar shingles on it, and I just like how it turned out. So now it is time to go inside. We kept the original aluminum door there, and then this is now what the space looks like downstairs. Kept a pretty open floor plan just so that as things evolve and we decide how we're going to utilize the space, it gives us the most options. This is kind of like the designated office space with my desk and some filing cabinets and all of my books. Those shelves are actually the old stair treads that we used as the temporary stair treads. I was able to repurpose them, which was nice. This is our unfinished coffee bar and the deer that Willie shot that hangs on the wall and gets decorated for Christmas. A lot of these things were like thrifted items. A lot of the furniture is thrifted or custom built or refinished. This conference table, this all-purpose table, my dad and I actually built. It's a little bit over 8 feet, and we built it essentially out of scrap wood and scrap metal that he had around the farm, and I just think it complements the space really well. And then downstairs, the only enclosed room that we have is this bathroom. It's handicap accessible, and it's not done from a design perspective. As I look at this video, it just irritates me. I want to put some ceiling tiles on that ceiling and give it some color and some crown molding. It just feels like it's missing something as it stands right now. Again, this coffee bar here is not quite done. That was a temporary bar top that we had to put on because the live edge just was not ready yet. But yeah, this is just a different view, a different angle of the downstairs. This is how it will look coming through the door from the shop versus the outside door. And then I am going to take you to the upstairs. But before we go upstairs, if you remember that original over 100-year-old door that was upstairs, we were able to save it, and I stripped it down, and so now that's the separating door between our apartment and our office. So this is the mudroom. There is a separate outside entrance to the apartment, so if we ever decide to rent it out, it's super easy to do, but this is a mudroom. Lots of the lots of things from my parents' house that they just gave us. These are all new stairs. Those are oak stair treads that I got on clearance from Menards and stained and finished them. I think they just turned out beautifully. We have a nice little coat closet sort of a thing when you first come up the stairs, and then you're straight into our kitchen, which I'm really happy with how the kitchen turned out. I did brass pulls on all of the cabinets, but then I did stainless for all of the appliances and things like that. I really like the way the mixed metal came out. We ended up not going with a quartz countertop because it was going to be expensive and heavy. So we just went with Formica from Menards, but I really like how it turned out. Here's the controversial black painted bathroom that I just really, really like how it turned out. It's a one-of-a-kind art piece from my high school art teacher there hanging on that wall. And then here's that controversially expensive tile shower. I think it was totally worth the paying of it because I just like how it turned out. I like the color. I like the big tiles. I'm a fan. It was worth the little bit of a splurge that we had. And then you move on here. This is like our utility room and our pantry. So it's got washer, dryer, which is the first time I've ever used a gas dryer. And I actually really, really like it. So if you're thinking about it, put a gas dryer in. New furnace, new water heater, all of that stuff. That's where our pantry is in there too. And I decided not to do built-ins because it gives me more options. This is our living space as it's currently set up with an old couch from my parents that's like over 20 years old, and no telling how old that chair is there in the corner, but they're comfy and they actually work really well in the space in terms of color palette. Look at our view of downtown Collins. I think it's nice. In case you haven't noticed, I do have a little bit of a houseplant problem. They are all over. And then this is our bedroom. It is definitely not decorated quite yet. We kind of want to live in the space before I get too crazy with hanging things on the wall, but this bedroom definitely needs something more. And our bedroom has another one of the big windows. I should point out this beautiful giant built-in that we have that I don't know what I'm going to put on, but we have it, which is cool. Dresser set I got off Facebook Marketplace and painted. And then this is our closet, which is not like overwhelming. Overall, there are a few projects and things that we do still need to finish up, some odds and ends, but I think that's just going to be the case for a while. We are super happy with how both spaces turned out, and we are especially happy with how the upstairs transformed, because if you saw it before, it was in really, really rough shape.
Chip and Joanna missed out.
What are you doing? Why are you leaving?
I thought we were doing the, oh, it's not. It's even harder. I thought we were going to do the tour.
Yeah, we're going to. I'm just going to film it and then talk over it. What would you like to say to people?
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us the last 18 months, it seems like.
It's been longer than that.
And it's been 2 years. The last 2 years as we get this together and build this whole thing. Sorry we weren't more regular on episodes. I think once a week was a little ambitious, shall we say.
We were busy.
We were really busy. In addition to this, both of our businesses grew significantly, shifted significantly, lots of things. So
Shifted.
yeah, like shifted focus.
Oh.
Like I'm talking about mine, probably more so than yours. So we just had a lot going on, but thank you guys for following along on this whole thing. Your words of encouragement, watching from all over the place. I think that's been pretty cool. Thanks for being here. Stay tuned. This might be
The first of many projects.
He said it. I did not even tell him to say that. We'll have other things happening sometime.
Not as big, not as grand. Just
Why
a
do you
little
say
more
that?
low key.
Why are we limiting ourselves? Maybe it'll be bigger and grander. Anyways, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Like, comment, share, all of the things. And until the next project. Sweet! I hope I pushed record.